excited to be back at home this weekend. Matchup against Charlotte, 2 o'clock kickoff. Should be great weather for the game, which is good. You know, we've had a couple of rain games here at home so far this year, so it should be great weather for will be a great matchup. And so kids are they're preparing right now and should have a great practice this afternoon. And looking forward to a great week. Questions?
Raise your hand if you have questions.
Coach, we saw Mason Garcia, seemingly make some improvements last game. So what did you think of his performance and, things to build off of there?
Well, I thought Mason certainly did some positive things, both in the run game and the passing game against SMU a week and a half ago. And, just like I've said, virtually every week, he continues to improve. And so excited about that. And, he's highly motivated to build off that performance and be ready to go this Saturday.
Do you think it's helped Mason to just maybe take a step back a little bit and just be in that different role?
Maybe it has, and Coach Kirkpatrick and I have talked about that, and because I think when Mason is relaxed and composed, he's done some really, really good things. I think he gets really excited. He's very motivated to be great and to help our team. Certainly the other night, coming off the bench, he was very effective.
Coach, one of those weekends where the pageantry of college football can kind of get in the way of the victory. How are you keeping the guys focused this week with homecoming and all the other stuff outside of football?
Well, this one's maybe a touch easier, in my opinion, than some of them are. Homecoming really is for the fans, for the alumni, for everybody in the area. It's a lot of people back on campus. For us, our job is to try to go out and win the football game. And so really, the game to us is no different than any other weekend. Now, we can certainly make it a great weekend for our alumni by getting a victory on the field, but really we don't need to be caught up in any of the stuff going on around anything with the game other than just what happens on the field.
Coach, I know you already moved on to Charlotte, but just wanted to ask about the last game. You've been aggressive going for it, fourth down at times. Here you went from a fourth down on the Mason play. Just, fourth quarter, can you explain your thought process punting on 4th and 2, I think 6-7 minutes ago in that situation?
So, I think there is a line between being aggressive and doing what you think is best to help you win. And I think that every situation is different. And that's we spend a lot of time preparing for those situations, and you take a lot of factors into play. And so, the one you're referencing is 7 minutes to go, 4th and 2 from the -33. So we're fairly deep in our own territory. We have all 3 timeouts. And so, the question there is, if you go for it and get it, great. You extend the drive that you're in right now. If you go for it and don't get it, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball pretty firmly. That deep in territory, you're hoping to limit them to a field goal at that point. So it's a 2-possession game right now. I know the score takes it to be a 3-possession game. With the way we had played defensively for the last several quarters, especially in the second half, really they hadn't moved the ball at all in the second half. The last 2 plays we hadn't gained a yard. So felt like right there with all 3 timeouts, our best course of victory of winning the ball game was to punt it away, use our timeouts, and try to get the ball back with 5+ minutes to play in better field position with a fresh set of downs. Now, it didn't work out for us. If we're sitting here having the same discussion and it did work out for us, then it'd be a great call. So, but that's the thing you deal with every time. I mean, no different than going for it 4th and 1, down in the red zone instead of taking the field goal. Certainly, you converted that one, and a great decision. Now, if you don't, then not such a great decision. So, it's what we deal with. We've looked at our stats. We're converting about 44% on the year. on fourth down. We look at the analytics every week, so I know that it's easy for someone to sit here after the game and evaluate the decision, be very critical of it, but we spend a lot of time each week preparing for those situations, both analytically and in practice. So there's a lot that goes into that decision.
On the Flynn fumble, it looked like live he was down, but replay showed he was not, clearly not.
Right.
Do you have something incorporated there where if it's a tricky call like that, go and get to the line, try to run a play before they can review
Yeah, they're not going to let us. They will not let you snap that ball. We were trying to get there pretty quick. We've been huddling the whole night, so the guys, of course, went to the huddle as they always had done during that night. That was part of our game plan. So, everybody on the headset had urgency. The kids got up there pretty quick, but they're not going to let you snap that ball. And if you watch college football across the country, and you've seen it several times with our games, they're going to wait till you get right up there and you get ready to snap it, and they'll probably even let the ball get snapped, but they're going to buzz it. And that's what, when I'm talking to the officials on the sideline, a lot of times when it's a questionable call like that, what I'm asking the officials, are they looking at it? Are they looking at it? They need to look at it. And what he'll do is, they're looking at it. If he says that, they're getting ready to buzz it. They won't let you snap the ball. If he says, it's already been cleared and confirmed, then they'll let it go ahead and snap. So.
Coach, Navy's defense obviously had a lot of success against Charlotte's offense on
Right.
Saturday. How much do you put stock into what another team did successfully against your future opponent?
Well, a lot, and put stock into who's on the field too. That game was 0-0 for much of the game. Now, Charlotte did miss a lot of wide open receivers down the field where, if they connect those, it's a different ball game. They went with a different quarterback Saturday too. And so, there's lots of things you're evaluating because their offense does change depending on which quarterback is in there. But certainly we've looked at that film a good bit. We've looked at the SMU film, we've looked at the Florida film, the Maryland film, the Georgia State film, the South Carolina State film. So we looked at all those and really evaluated kind of who they are based on their personnel and their execution. But certainly it was a great win by Navy and could have easily been a great win for Charlotte Saturday with Navy really only having the two big plays.
Sorry to go back to that Flynn play, but it's hard to tell a guy to stop trying and stop running. So how do you balance, go down or keep going, protect the ball?
Well, we spend a good part of practice each week with ball security and traffic. I mean, we have a drill that we're going to do offense versus defense, which is, they really, this is not a, live, team setting deal. This is in addition to that. They're trying to punch at, it's repeatedly and it's very, very aggressive. And so there are mechanics that we teach and that we drill, each week in that setting and then reteach in the good on good setting, the team versus scout setting of how we want the ball secured in that exact situation. And so, when we don't do a great job with those mechanics, then that results in a turnover. And so I think it's a teachable moment for, that we're not applying the proper fundamentals that we teach in practice. This is why it's important, and this is what happens when, we don't use those proper fundamentals. And, obviously we've got to do a better job of coaching it to ensure that they're always used in that situation.
Coach, overall Thursday night, how would you evaluate the offense's performance coming out of the bye?
Well, we're spending a lot of time on the game a week and a half ago. Obviously, it was not good enough. Now, we were facing, the best defense we've seen since Michigan. And so we did a lot of positive things offensively. And, at the end of the day, the game was 14-10 in the fourth quarter. We're driving. I think when that turnover occurred, we were on about the minus 43-yard line. We'd already gained the first down. So you're sitting there where, you may be getting ready to go drive down and go take lead in the fourth quarter against one of the best teams in our conference. So you can't just sit here and say that we did not do a lot of positive things offensively. But obviously we have to improve on that performance. We have to eliminate the turnovers in those critical situations. and we've got to do a better job of getting points on the board.
You know, after getting a chance to watch the film, you know, how excited are you about some of the young cornerbacks you guys have, just the way they, you know, responded after being tested like that?
I'm excited about a lot of the young players we have. You know, we continue to have some guys go out there and get some valuable experience in their first year as Pirates. And, you know, so Antoine Jackson, yeah, he gave up the double move early in the ball game, which, you know, we spent the whole bye week, you know, talking to him about, you know, having disciplined eyes, because the number one thing for a secondary player that they've got to learn is they can't have dirty eyes. You know, they've got to have great eyes in the secondary. And, you know, he let his lapse right there. It cost us a touchdown, but I think it's a valuable lesson for him. And it's painful. It's painful for him to learn, it's painful for us to experience, but those are the ones you learn the best from. You know, I can tell you stuff over and over and over again, but when you're living it, then that really reinforces it. And I thought he really responded positively to that early in the ball game and came back and played very, very well through the balance of the game. I thought Isaiah Brown Murray had a very solid night, and it's another young corner who has really rebounded from a little bit of a rocky start early in the year, and he's going to be a very solid player for us. You know, Siobhan's in his first year of starting, and you know, he did get some playing experience. You know, the second half of last year after he was healthy, but you know, he's another one. You know, gave up a ball there early in the ball game on a phenomenal catch by the SMU receiver, and then after that, you know, really did a fantastic job through the balance of the game. Now, I would like to see him catch a couple of those that he made great plays on and convert those into turnovers for the Pirates, and obviously that would be a big swing in the ball game. But I thought those guys competed very well, and it was obvious that SMU really wanted to attack them, and I'm glad that our guys were ready for the opportunity and responded in the way they did.
Coach, you talked about, you know, you've been in games in the fourth quarter, you've been in one-score games in the fourth quarter, and we aren't able to get those points to win the game. So is it an experience thing, is it an adjustments thing, or is it a bit maybe not that simple?
Well, I think that there's a lot that goes into guys, you know, being comfortable performing at a high level in those pressure situations. And the only way that they're going to get there is by being in those pressure situations. And, you know, I think that the more we're in those situations, the more comfortable some of our guys are going to get. You know, we've played 6 games now and been in those situations a lot. So, you know, I'm hoping that starting with this weekend, we're going to play much better in those situations. But it is a big combination of experience and, you know, a group gelling together and, you know, just performing at a higher level. And, you know, that's our goals for this week, and that's what we're, you know, working very hard towards.
Coach, it seems like Coach Pogge over at Charlotte, one of the more colorful characters you could say in college football. I'm just wondering if you've had any crossover with him or any history with him and his staff in the past.
So we got a chance, Coach and I got a chance this summer to spend some time together at the conference meetings, and you know, really enjoyed my interactions with him. Obviously, he has been, you know, incredibly successful, you know, over the span of his life, and you know, before football, in the business area, and then just, you know, moving over in a kind of a second career, you know, in high school and college football. You know, obviously you're not as successful as he has been unless you're a pretty sharp guy and really have a great understanding of how to work with people and manage people. So I think he's done a great job putting that roster together. Obviously he overhauled the roster significantly. I mean, there's, I don't know, 50, 60 new guys on that roster, and they come from a lot of different places. You know, he brought a lot of his guys that had played for him at St. Francis. And you know, he's put together a very talented group, and I know that you know, they've been close in a lot of games with a very tough schedule, and so he's you know, he's working hard to get things going there. But you know, I think he's great for that program and that university, and looking forward to seeing him again this Saturday.
Coach, we saw Jay this go down on the kickoff. Can you update us on his status? And also, you guys use prominent players on special teams. Y'all highly value it. So just kind of your philosophy there. Does anything like that change your philosophy, or you guys are going to stick to what you do?
Well, I think number one, Javius, the injury was not significant. He's day to day right now, so hoping to get him back pretty quick. You know, if I knew I was going to get in a car wreck when I pulled out tonight, you know, I'd maybe second guess getting in my car. You know, there was an accident right out there at the entrance last evening when I was leaving. Somebody was pulling out and they got T-boned. So, you know, hindsight always, you know, causes you, well, gosh, we hadn't done that. But, you know, me, Coach Saban, Coach Smart, coaches all across the country, you know, you're going to put your best players on the field in situations for them to be impactful. And you see it all across college football and with us too, that we're going to play our best players that give us a chance to be impactful. We do look at snap counts a lot with, you know, all of our guys and you know, who's getting snaps where. Obviously, Javius being a freshman, his first snaps really were coming on special teams, and he's been highly impactful all year on special teams. You know, he's been a significant guy on kickoff return with his abilities there, and he's actually our leading tackler on our kickoff team. And you know, I've joked around, he would be a really good DB for us. He was a very good tackler in high school, very good DB in high school. So, you know, you hate to ever have a guy get dinged up, but that is part of our sport, and we always have to be prepared for it. But you're always going to do what is best to give yourself a chance to be highly impactful. And I think he has been highly impactful, probably more so on special teams than he has been anywhere else, although he was starting to show some things on offense, and we look forward to getting him back in both areas here soon.